We have once again returned to the month of the spooks, filled with ghosts, zombies, pumpkin heads, and the anticipation of tax season. But what's scarier than any of those things? Even scarier than Art the Clown? Unemployment. Yes, that's right. Nothing more frightening than not having a job or having zero source of income, especially when it comes to the career you're most passionate about. In this case, what I'm going to be talking about in the topic of this video has more to do with the career in entertainment. One of the main producers for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, named Victoria Alonso, part of production and visual effects team, who worked all the way from where it all started with Iron Man all the way to Ant-Man Quantumanium, which unfortunately was the straw that broke the camel's back. Literally one bad movie it took for Disney to say, see ya bitch, we're gonna make our own cinematic universe without you, which I think is very cruel. And she's done a lot for the company, winning them $23 billion in the box office. And yes, I understand Ant-Man is a terrible movie, and it didn't do so well at the box office. I understand that level of underperformance. But it's only one freaking movie. I don't think that's warrants a termination. But thankfully for her, she did get a lawsuit against Disney and actually reached a settlement that brought her even more money than she already made for the company. So, in a way, it's kind of a win-win for her, but at the same time, I don't think she deserves to be completely dropped. That's ridiculous. But while Alonso was more of the lucky one after the termination, most of the employees at Pixar weren't so lucky. In fact, they probably got the shorter end of the stick in their termination. The Pixar employees have also gotten fired in May of this year. I can't imagine why that would happen. If you remember my video from about months ago when I talked about how modern Pixar films deserve better and how the incentive of making them watch 3 Pixar films on Disney Plus as opposed to watch it in theaters really screwed them over. And what did they do as a result? They fired 14% of their employees. Because it's the employees that are the problem, not the fact that these idiots decided we're going to release these films not in theaters the first time. But like I said in that video, don't you think that maybe with all the hard work that goes into it, you would think that maybe they belong in a bigger screen? And because you took that incentive away from your audience, then they have no reason to go watch it in theaters, especially if you're going to put it in theaters right after you put it on Disney Plus. But again, you fire employees because they're the problem. This needs to stop, right now. Every time Disney does something ridiculous, it really baffles me as to how they plan to survive for as long as they think they are. Sure, they can make a bunch of sequels of popular films. They can make Inside Out 2. They can make a Toy Story 5. What pisses me off isn't the fact that these employees got fired through unfair advantages that weren't even under the control, because it was the executives that made that business decision to not release the films in theaters, but it's more so with the fact that their unprofessional behavior of simply not trusting their workers into thinking that their work is fit for the big screen to make the profit that they want to make back really baffles me. Of the many years they existed, the whole 100 years that they existed, they think their employers aren't trustworthy enough to make that sort of profitability in their work. That just really bothers me. And literally one thing can go wrong and completely ruin it for everybody. And it's really sad to watch, and it's very scary, especially when those workers have families to feed and they have to work at this job in order to provide that, and when that's taken away from them, they may not have much left. All I can do is just really pray for the people that have gotten fired from Disney and just hope for the very best for them, because these idiots aren't going to do that. It drives me nuts, but it also just makes me cry that this would even happen in the first place. This video fits in the Halloween spirit because this shit is scary. Because having the lack of job security in one of the biggest corporations of all time is scary. If we can just have somewhat of an agreement that is consoling and is civil and is at least thought out in an adult way, then we wouldn't have this many problems of what we're having right now. Because right now they're just digging themselves a hole, and it's really frustratingly aggravating to watch. I don't know what else to say here. This is all unfair. This is ridiculous. This needs to end, right now. Please, Disney, get your shit together.